Now from the battlefield to the banks, President Biden and U.S. allies now imposing the most potentially crippling economic sanctions, going after the central bank reserves that underpin the Russian economy and severing some Russian banks from the vital international financial system. Our senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky is in Ukraine. Senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer is here with us in D.C. And retired General Robert Abrams, former commander of U.S. forces in Korea, also joining us. Aaron, let's start with you there in Kyiv. It's still under Ukrainian control for now, at least. Give us the latest.
It is under Ukrainian control, and the Ukrainian military has almost been boastful about the successes it has had with troops and also this civilian army that they've been able to build up, handing out weapons to civilians, including members of parliament, and also encouraging citizens to make Molotov cocktails and guard their own neighborhoods, stacking tires and sandbags to create checkpoints just in case Russian troops should advance. And the Ukrainians have been emboldened, I think, by these calls, by the shows of support from President Zelensky, who's appeared on social media to rally the troops and to rally the country to its own defense. But no one is under any illusions. As Ian says, the Russians can still respond with overwhelming power. To that end, Zelensky has now been willing to negotiate, it seems. He'll send a team to the Belarus-Ukraine border. He wasn't going to go all the way to Minsk because he didn't think Belarus was indeed neutral ground, but he will go to the border and meet a Russian delegation there and perhaps try to work out something. But there is still fighting raging in this country, Kyra.
And while that is happening, Devin, let's talk about cutting Russia off from the SWIFT system now, the nuclear option for sanctions. What exactly will be affected now? Explain this to us.
Yeah, Kyra, the French foreign minister this morning called it the financial nuclear weapon. But the bottom line is we haven't seen the details yet. The White House is saying this is a coordinated blow to Russia that will further isolate them from the global economic system. It had been talked about as a major step. We know that this move will cut off Russia, some of Russian banks, not all Russian banks, from a key system which allows those banks to participate in international financial transactions. They communicate with each other. So this will make it much harder for those banks to do business. That could further isolate Russia and the economy. We'll have to see what the details are in terms of how significant an impact this will have. Perhaps an even bigger development, though, Kyra, overnight, was that the White House has now targeting Russia's central bank, $600 billion in foreign reserves. That is money that Vladimir Putin has said he has saved up for a rainy day fund, if you will, if and when these Western sanctions hit. That is now being frozen around the world with that move. That is significant. And we also know, Kyra, that this all follows those efforts late last week by the White House to freeze out some of the richest, most powerful Russians, those oligarchs, from their reserves in international banks, and also things like yachts that are parked at ports around the world and golden passports, things like that, to be able to travel. So really putting the pinch on Russia.
And, General, now Putin is ordering deterrent forces on high alert, including actual nuclear weapons. What do you make of this? The fact that he's rattling his saber here. Is this of concern, or is this just Putin being Putin?
Well, Kyra, actually, I think it's a little bit of both. I think we need to go back to the presser after the Macron-Putin 6-hour marathon meeting. And that's where Putin really issued his first veiled threat of the potential use of nuclear weapons. That statement by him did not get a lot of press at the time, but he has been lightly rattling this saber now for over a week. So the announcement today should not come as a complete surprise. And I think it's sending a clear message back to those NATO. Yesterday and the day before was a high watermark day for NATO countries stepping up to make military arms contributions to the Ukrainian military and the Ukrainian people. And I think this is Putin's way of sending a message back that says, be careful. Because he has that unique capability, that strategic capability. But as you said, this is also, this is typical Putin. He is a bully, and this is a bully's tactic.
Aaron, finally, while we have you, Zelensky has agreed now to send this delegation to negotiate with Russia. Do you think there is any hope for a ceasefire here?
Well, so far, Russia has only been willing to negotiate on its own terms, Kyra, and insisting that Ukraine capitulate to its demand that it never join NATO. It wants a declaration from President Zelensky. I'm not sure at this point he's prepared to make that declaration, and we're not sure whether this is cover or whether this is serious groundwork for talks to end the fighting. If, in fact, the Ukrainian people believe that a ceasefire is possible anytime soon, they don't seem to show it. There are hundreds of thousands of them on the move. Today, Kyra, I visited Lviv's main train station. This has been a hub for people who are traveling from more dangerous parts of the country, trying to get out to, say, Poland. Those trains are packed. People have been waiting 24 hours or longer for a ride into an uncertain future.
All right, General Robert Abrams, Devin Dwyer, and our Aaron Katersky, thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.